God, rent has been paid. Over time, I found that was the rat race. It can't work. So you must always negotiate. Don't negotiate your fees based on bills. Negotiate your fees based on worth. That was a lesson I learned. Negotiate your fees based on worth, not based on bills. I'm saying this because someone asked me, what if I'm trying to negotiate a fee and someone on the fees tender or on the receiving end is not trying to cooperate and they're trying to, I say, well, the fact that you have started negotiating based on your worth, you can walk away from a negotiation that is not working. If not, you're actually negotiating because of bills. If you cannot walk away from a negotiation table, it means that you are pressed by bills. You're not working with worth. These are fundamentals. I'm trying to start from that so that we don't just jump into proposal writing. Proposal writing for me is a vehicle. But there is a philosophy that drives it. There is a belief system that governs proposal writing. Writing proposals, I'm not sure it's really anything difficult. There are templates. But what's the philosophy that is guiding your completion of a proposal? That one is more critical. And that's why we're having this conversation. Now, this session we're having today does not include teaching you how to write English. That one. See them here. They're the grammar queens. Me, my own is show you the sections that matter, tell you the perspectives that matter, and probably some philosophies that we can exhaust within the time frame that we have. But how to put the comma, the dot, the English, and the sentences, this course is not part of it. Don't say, I went for the training, Coach Sam did not tell me that I shouldn't put not here. I don't know. It's not part of my work. Even I am learning. I'll not tell you some underground things that happen with my own English. So let me leave it like that. So, let's continue. How do I ensure that if Coach Sam says I should consistently be pursuing the money and be looking for the income before the bills come knocking, there is a limited source of or a destination of writing proposal. We think so, but no, that's not true. There's what I developed called the wheel of marketing. The wheel of marketing is a tool, a proprietary tool of BSG. BSG has two proprietary tools, wheel of marketing and wheel of business. If you have pre-ordered my book based on logistics, you will find them there. So, wheel of marketing. Bless you. Wheel of marketing suggests that primarily all of us, especially for those of us employed in a business where you are their marketer or their business development officer, there is primarily an industry, primary industry that you play in. My company, Soccer, is primarily a behavioral change industry. We're in that industry. We're concerned about mental health, we're concerned about emotional health, we're concerned about behavior. So that's our primary industry. The School Resource Center, they're in education. Some of you are into sport. He's into real estate. You are into social enterprise. He's into education and consulting. She's a legal person. So there is a primary industry. The problem with primary industry is when you tend to think that all your proposals should consist within your primary industry, you are in the red ocean. Red ocean by business connotation means a saturated market. So if I, as Soccer, behavioral change, we're writing every company, we want to help you with emotional intelligence, we want to help with anger management, at the end of the day, everybody in my industry is writing the same thing. So, the next thing to think about is, what other industries are outside my primary industry? So for me now, legal is not my primary, it's secondary to me. Education. is secondary to me. Sports is secondary to me. Social enterprise, and here we mean NGOs, is secondary to me. Real estate is secondary to me. Am I communicating? ETC is limitless. So one fundamental way to think, because sometimes when you're asking marketers, why have you not marketed? They'll say there's nobody that we don't know where to write to. Fallacy. The first thing to get yourself is step outside your industry. Go into other industries, which is what fortune cookie principle actually tells you. Fortune cookie principle says everybody is your customer. It is you that needs to create a solution for them. What we do around here in marketing is that we create a product and they were looking for the people that will buy it. No. In fortune cookie principle, which has worked for me a lot, is you think about an industry, legal, and then begin to speculate and prospect. What is it about the legal people that there is a gap that I can help with? Find the gap and fill it. You cannot lack place to market. It's not possible. It is not possible. So, fundamentally, explore as many industries as possible and begin to create solutions that fit into the gaps you are noticing in those industries. I want to tell you with every sense of confidence, you cannot lack a place to market. That one is true, unless you are just not ready. Are we good? Fantastic. So all these are just preliminary talk. We've not entered what I want us to talk about. Can I wipe this now?
Yes.
Good. So, what is a proposal? What do you think a proposal is? Anyone? What is a proposal? Please don't be shy. You guys are making money. Don't be ashamed. Don't be shy. Nobody wants to say something. What's a proposal? Okay, so when was the last time you submitted a proposal? Anyone here? When was the last time? Yesterday. Today. So, yes, sir. Last week. So you have submitted a proposal. Now we say, what is proposal? You're looking at me. Yes, ma'am.
We call it an intent.
Intent. Okay.
Presenting your intention to maybe a person you think needs what you have. With the purpose that he or she or the company,
Yes.
at the end of the day, will buy or engage you, depending on the industry, like you said, or
Yes.
what it is.
Okay. Valid. One more person.
To quote you earlier, you said proposals are a completely marketing instrument. So it's something you give out, like you said, in the event of getting results, getting them to either buy from you, to see whatever vision of it you are looking into.
Thank you. So, the word propose. I like this word. Intent. Desire. An offer. An ambition. etc. Last week we handpicked some organizations and wrote them to sponsor the cost of running our BSG summit. We have an annual business summit. This year holds on June 12th. So we handpicked some organizations and wrote them a strict proposal, sharpshooting, and had 89% success. As I speak with you, the cost of hosting the event itself is taken care of. Like we have received the note is coming. So there is a lot of power in how you write your proposal. There's a lot of power in it. The first proposal ever I wrote was in 2011 to a USAID project that's sited in Mambila Plateau in Taraba State. And before I submitted that proposal, I think they had taken the money from my body already, even before they paid me. Because it was a USAID project. They had a specification and there were just a lot of conditions attached to how to write it. So while I didn't go through any formal training on writing proposals, those guys must have battered me seriously. So I have PTSD of proposal writing. So proposals, yes, an intent, a document that shows our desire to satisfy or fulfill a service. However, one thing we must remember is we are not actually proposing what people need from the context of telling them that they need it. We are proposing that we have what we want them to use to solve a problem. It is not a need. I have found in marketing, members of BSG will be familiar with this. I have found in marketing, people buy what they want, not what they need. You want to plug? Should I help you? So you need? Okay. People buy what they want, not what they need. So one of the skills, which is the hypnotic part we'll talk about very soon, you should incorporate in your proposals is, how do I communicate this need as a want? How do I communicate this need as a want? Let me give you a simple statement. You write an organization and you say, we do food, wellness food, this food, because your staff it will make them healthy, it will make them this one, they will be productive, they will be that. That's a need. They may not, to them is given. Let them not eat healthy now. How is that my problem? Because in the leave, there's a 5-day leave, sick leave. In the head of the person deciding, there's already a structure that makes the staff protected in terms of health. It does not concern me whether they're healthy or not. But if you give me that proposal, and I say that if we guarantee 0 to 1 downtime or absenteeism of your staff, so that at the end of the year, your bottom line is increased by 38%, that guarantees management luxury or guarantees management fulfillment. That is a want. Because what the management is thinking is, if I can earn an extra 1 million, I can pay my child's school fees in the UK. That is a want. It's not a need. So while I can come telling you that your staff can be healthy, they will be happy, they will do the work, they will be proud of you, in the head of the manager, I don't think it's a problem, because before you came, they were happy. And they were sorting out their unhappiness. But if you can convert that need to a want, something that sounds like it, let's do a basic example. Show me all your phones. Put all your phones on the table. You will see that none of your phones is like this. Everybody here probably has a smartphone. One of the things I've learned in marketing is, if it is a need, we won't buy smartphones. Should it's just to send message and call. I don't need to spend 100K to buy a costly phone. I don't need to spend 200K. Even iPhone 11 now, £500,000 to buy. People are buying it. It's not a need. There's something else attached to it. If to make hair is a need, you will make a simple. In fact, you don't need to make it. Just buy a comb, buy small oil. Don't be putting it, combing your hair. But if we want to take assessment of the general cost of the hair and see it like this, it's not a need. It's a want. A guy will go to a barbering shop that will charge him 2K. Why does he not just go to the side shop near his house? Maybe it's just to cut hair. No, it's not a need. It's a want. It's the same thing in marketing. So in communicating your marketing, don't speak like, we know you need it. If you do this, you will survive. They will survive anyhow. Because by nature, we are wired to survive. So you must couch your communications into want than need. And that is what a proposal aspires to do. So, proposals emanate from two sources. When you submit a proposal, there are two reasons why you submit a proposal. There is what we call the cold vehicle proposal and the warm vehicle proposal. There is the cold vehicle proposal and the warm vehicle proposal. We have all come for this session now. We've done introductions. Some of you, so while Omelogo was speaking, bosses said, that is my what? Her friend, that's the word she used. So, let's say that after this session, Bosse forgets to connect with her and take her details. And Bosse reaches out to us and says, that lady that I was referring to, is it okay if I have her details? I'm so sure. And we send the details to her. And Bosse, we send an email to her because that's the most respectful thing to do, not phone number, send an email. And so she takes the email and writes a proposal from her organization to hers, soliciting to help solve a problem. Soliciting that we have a range of services we think you may want, not need, you may want. You probably want to explore this. In fact, we have some free samples of services that you can just have a taste of, which would, like you said, advising us on projects and stuff for free. If you do so, let's assume Omelogo receives this document and does not remember who this person really is. That's a cold vehicle proposal. A cold vehicle proposal is like a cold call, a cold email. You just go on the internet, you Google, let's say, I want to write 25 banks. You don't know anybody. You just go to their corporate website, pick email addresses, and fire blind proposals to them, custom made for them. It's cold vehicle. A cold vehicle means I don't know you, you don't know me, I don't have anyone, you don't know where I'm coming from, but I believe I have something you may want, and I write you. Peradventure, you would respond. So in 2017, Soka wrote about 105 organizations in Nigeria. We wrote them to say we have a retirement service that we think they may want to explore for their staff on how to prepare for retirement in advance. We wrote 105 organizations, banks, PFA, embassies, blah, 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 blah. Only one organization called UBA headquarters. We saw your document, we couriered to all of them. We consulted someone to write the document. The person extracted, I don't know how she got all the details. It was painstaking. We sent it via courier, corporate packaging. We spent a lot of money. Only one called. We got your document, okay, we'll get back to you, unless if they'll get back to us tomorrow. But that was cold vehicle. The chances to convert cold vehicle is just there, no statistics. You can't say it's 50-50, you can't say it's 1 to 10, because it's a function of so many factors. The one vehicle, however, is, so after we wrote those organizations, 105, and only one called us. A few months later, I was speaking at Enterprise Hub by Godwin Oberman, and one man was sitting in the audience. He works with CBN, and his department, or he's the head of a team of the MSMEs, the medium, small scale, blah, blah people. And in the course of my conversation on the panel, I mentioned this pre-retirement course. So during lunch break, he comes to me and says, that thing you were talking about, tell me more about it. And I said, yeah, and I even told you that, in fact, last year we wrote so many organizations, now only one called us. He just laughed and we got talking. He gave me his card, I picked his card, we left. So later I sent him a text, it was nice meeting you, sir, thank you so much. Please give me your, please confirm that I can send you an email. Sure, send me an email. So I sent. He He read email, replied me and says, I think some other people will need you. And he refers me to Nigerian Stock Exchange. And the HR calls me Nigerian Stock Exchange and invites me to Lagos, and we sit down, we talk. And that's how the deal was struck. Till today, we still do retirement service for Nigerian Stock Exchange. That is one. One vehicle means I meet an acquaintance, we have a conversation, we both see a mutual need, and I'm triggered to send a proposal to back it up. So as we're here now, yes, I'll come to you. As we're here now, you meet Madam Halima later and you're talking, and she says, oh really? I think I know someone that may need this, or I think I may need this. Can you send me a proposal? One, the chances that this can be converted is high because already someone is in on it. There is a demand. So this is proactive. This is reactive. This is proactive, meaning nobody send you, nobody ask you, nobody call you. You send yourself. These people, this building is beautiful. Let me write them. They will need to do this and do it. They may like it. That's cold calling, cold vehicle. One vehicle is conversation leads to conversation. That is why I want to encourage you. Some of you that say, I don't know how to write. I don't like broadcasts. The majority of you sitting here came through my broadcasts. Over time, broadcasts have, somehow you have said yes to one broadcast. You need to always take advantage of it. Because broadcasts are primarily cold calling, but it leads you to stumble on someone that becomes a warm vehicle. This is business we're talking about, and you can't be sentimental about looking for money. So you must spread your tentacles with cold vehicles. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, anyhow, be distributing your content, hypnotic content. Someone will respond and say, tell me more about this. That person can become the door to many other things, which converts from cold to warm. Yes, boss.
I wanted to ask the referrals as well.
Yes. Yes. The moment someone has said, tell me more, it has switched to warm. So when you go for events, workshops, seminars, you're just there sitting, saying, I don't want to embarrass myself. I just like to be watching people. Your money is watching you. I'm telling you, your money is watching you in return. Because someone in that audience, last year's BSG summit, one of our friends came to pitch their ideas. And right there at the summit, they made tons of money. And after, just this year, around January, second week of January, the guy was telling me that he stumbled on someone that attended the summit in the Hilton. And while they were in the Hilton, the person gave him 400K cash to support the same pitch they did in the summit. And his wife came to their school with food for the children in the school. So don't just go to a place and say, let me not go and show myself. Show yourself. Oh. Show yourself. The thing is, because we all here, I'm assuming, are people that are looking for the briefs. You're looking for the business, you're looking for the opportunity. People in accounts, in admin, in customer service, they can be saying, even though everybody should be a marketer in the organization, but primarily those in business and marketing, you are supposed to be proactive about getting businesses. You can't afford to just be docile and say, I'm just watching. No, you can't. You are in a postgraduate course. The people in your class, convert them to your customer. You are in a church. The people in church have money. I'm telling you, you see one person, church, everybody dress sengemenge, powerful dressing. So you don't even know who is who, which is why it should be more visible. Marketing is all about visibility, but it's not just loud visibility, like you're just talking anyhow. It's strategic visibility, because you want to convert people. So we have the cold, we have the warm. Are we good?
Yes.
Yeah. Fantastic. Now in the cold, because you are writing an organization or a person who does not know you, the details that accompany your proposal in the cold may slightly differ from the details that go in the warm. But it's not absolute. depending, because in the one, you're already having a conversation. They may give you a tailor-made request. They'll tell you, send this, send this, send this. So it may differ on the basis that in the one, there may be specifics that have been demanded from you. But most likely, you can replicate what's in the code. The details here are more comprehensive because you're introducing yourself for the first time. By some risk, they probably have never heard about you. In fact, from the first look of your document, they can picture the industry you're coming from, and guess what? Right there and then, they can already think of competition that they know. Why? And they're asking themselves, but it's the same food. They can start calling names. Let me tell you a personal story. So I went to a company in Lagos. I had visited my former MD, who is now the MD of CSCS. So I just went visiting my Oga, I came to see you. I'm in Lagos. I thought I should check on you. He said, oh, son, it's been a while. So we're talking. So I was stepping out, I saw a company. I said, let me take chances. I not entered. I said, I'd like to see the HR manager. Do you have an appointment? I said, I don't have an appointment. Okay, what's your name? Sit down. I sat down. They went, came back. I stayed there for a while. Then I entered. Hi, good to meet you. So, I hear you want to see me. Yes, so I introduced myself and this and that. I'm from Sopka in Abuja, we do this, we do that. So I just came to see Mr. This person here. Oh yeah, okay, oh yeah. Okay, so what can I do for you? I just thought that we could come and do a free training for you guys, in stress mass management, all that. She was like, oh, nice. But the thing is, Larry Oloshuola is on our faculty. Kule Shorinyo is on our faculty. So he started listing dons as okay. I said, yeah, thank you. So, do you mind bottle of water? No, I'm okay. You understand? But so where I'm going is this. When you do cold vehicle, you must arm yourself properly. Because the person receiving it probably has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other alternatives that they already had. So if God is even favorable to you, it's in the going through your document that you can find an exception like, this part looks interesting. So you don't just go writing the normal document like, well, let's just write a proposal just so that they can see that we are working. The work self will work you. So, very key. Now, what are the components of a functional proposal? The components of a functional proposal. When you're doing a cold vehicle proposal, your proposal will most likely have 2 documents. There will be the proposal itself, and then there will be a cover letter that goes with it. This guy, of course, being a cover letter will be on your letterheaded. This guy doesn't have to be. When I'm receiving it, I need an introductory instrument. Before I start seeing what are you even selling, I need to see, and many letterheaded these days have, to a large extent, the members of the board of directors, because it's a cloud thing. Remember that you must put your best foot forward. So that's why in BSG we normally tell people, get advisory board, get a good functional board. It will look like you're stressing them, because when you're writing a cold proposal, your letterheaded alone, they will leave the proposal and call you. Just because of the people on the letterheaded alone, they will forget that you even wrote proposal. They'll call you and say, oh, you wrote us a letter, okay, we see, which, do you have a relationship with so person? They'll ask you. They'll invite you. So pay attention to these things. If you are creating, if you own your own company, be careful the people you put on the board. If you want to quote them on your, because whether you quote them on the letterhead or not, anyway, your company brochure will have their details, which still goes with the document. So these are very important. In fact, for the code, there are actually 3 documents that go with you: the proposal itself, the cover letter, and your company brochure or profile, if you choose to call it that way. So let me ask you, do you have a company profile? Because some of you are just doing business in your head. So you need to equip it. Today we signed an MOU with one HMO in this town. It was the component of our profile that was the seller. They've heard about us, they've been calling, asking, making inquiries. It's as though they were benchmarking. Our board chairman, Dr. Steve Ogidon, is a core consultant to GIZ, this German NGO. And just because he's a core facilitator there, when they called us, I don't know what they were doing, they were scouting behavioral change because they had regional training hubs and our name popped up for North Central. They asked us to send our profile. When they saw his name, it was just like automatic. They said, Ogidon is even your board chairman, and then there's no problem now. We just crossed due diligence. We didn't have to be doing all that, bring this one, sign this one. We just crossed straight. So some of these things are very key. Don't just go lumping people. Say, I like his bird. Put his name. He's wearing green. Patriotic. Put his name. Okay. So some of these things are very important. So for cold documents, this will likely, which may translate for warm.
Yeah.
But in some cases, if the person just bring so, that will apply. It's just that ultimately you still need to send these documents anyway. For companies that are doing due diligence, they'll still require your profile and some other documents for the sake of documentation. So these are the things that apply, basically. So the sections in, because I don't need to talk about cover letter, I don't need to talk about profile. The sections in the proposal itself. So one, there is a cover page on your proposal. 2, there is an introduction. 3, there is the service. 4, there is the methodology. 5, there are the benefits. You showcase the benefits. 6, there is the pricing. 7, there is the profile of team or organization. And then finally 8, there is a subset of clients lists. Clientele list, let me put it that way. Clientele lists. These are 8 fundamental sections that are recommended in your proposal. You want to ask a question? So let me show us some examples. Before I show us some examples, please, I want to beg you, these examples I'm about to show us are live documents. So you'll be seeing some information that are meant to be conserved. So don't go say, they said, he said, he showed us. So I'll be showing us some examples just to buttress this flow that I have here. So, there is a cover page. The cover page consists of the following subsections. So let's assume that this is your cover page of the proposal itself, not the cover letter. Cover letter is our header paper to DS, also to email, because depending on how you put it, proposal to, I'll show us an example of a cover letter also. But the cover page of your proposal document shows the following sequence. So you can either start with the logo and the name of the proposal, or name of proposal for the logo of client. Logo here means logo of client. So you can either start with logo of client, then name of proposal, or name of proposal for logo of client. Let me show you the example of the two. So here, what I have here is a proposal for 1 day experiential training on team building and behavioral change for logo of client. Can you see that? However, I have another one that starts the other way around. So this is for Madam School. So here, logo of client then goes down to say a proposal for building boys to men, a behavioral change process to empower the boy child. So logo, title, or title for logo. Have you seen the two sides?
Yes.
Fantastic. Then the next section will now be a proposal undertaken by your own logo. To be undertaken by your own logo. And then the last item on the cover page is now the month and year that document has been prepared. Can you see it? Let me show you the other one too, so that you see that they are both hand in hand. Okay, this image is anything. Okay, this is a cover letter. This is another totally different proposal. It starts with logo or client, a proposal for training on change management and ICT adoption to be undertaken by SOCA, then dates. So this is cover page of the proposal itself. Are we on the same page? Yes. Is this making sense to you? Now, so this done. Then we go to page 2. We go to page 2. Now page 2, depending on the flow and the content per section, any of this can be on multiple pages. The one that stands alone is cover page. Every other one, depending on the voluminous content, that will determine the flow, basically. This usually will start on a fresh page. Fresh page. Don't be lumping our team inside fees. No. It's a document on its own. It's a page also, fresh page for this one. Of course, these two, fresh page. Every other thing can coexist in different pages. They can overlap, no problem. Eddie, are you okay? The light. You don't have glasses. You're squinting. Sorry. So, the introduction here I said preceded by a quote. This was a personal introduction to how I write proposals. I found that it works. So, you see this statement. Remember that the title of this proposal is Change Management and ICT Adoption, right? So, I'd like you to see this line. It says, change is the only permanent experience of any human system. Did you see that? Let me go to another proposal. Here, the topic is team building and behavioral change, right? The statement here says, when you feel you can do more, you get to do more. Can you see that? Let me see now. Let me see what I wrote here. Good. So here, we said change blah blah for boy child, right? Then what did I write here? There is no time limit to behavioral outcomes. It's a permanently optimistic journey. What can you deduce from these 3 examples? Between the topic and that statement, what do you see as a pattern? Yes. So, guess what? I like to call them, this quote, I like to call it triggers. I want you to start reading my proposal with a charge, a trigger. that tells you that the objective of me sending you this document is that this is what I need you to do. This is what I need you to think. So what I have done is is hypnosis. I have narrowed your thinking already. All you'll be reading throughout the document is in line with that quote. You want something? Water. It's in line with that quote. Yes, sir.
Can that be called, can you say a research background? What to do in place of the quotes?
So a research background is
Probably facts and some little.
the introduction
statistics.
itself.
Okay.
The statement comes before the introduction. The introduction is where you are now saying, we have observed, I've seen, our work shows, statistics show, all that is under introduction.
Okay.
And it needs to be concise, not just, it's not a thesis you're writing. But so in this case, for instance, because we're talking about boy child here, the introduction also talks about issues we have seen related to that topic. So in the past 6 I've been given more than 20 screen as a cluster based on this. We believe all. So it gives an idea that there is experience in this, there is a problem we have identified, and this is what we want to fix. Let me see what we wrote in another proposal. So in this one, for the ICRC, we say together everyone achieves more. Of course, we know what this means, team. And this is the essence of sharing hours investing in workforces globally to develop team cohesion and bonding. One of the most effective. So this is your, call it thesis, call it micro thesis, abstract, that says this is why you need to do this. But don't forget your triggers. That I learned on my own. Don't forget your triggers. So cover page, start your introduction. Precede it with a trigger if you want. It's not in the conventional proposal writing style, but it has worked for us. Start with a trigger. So take time to Google. And that's why I honestly think that's why you should read a lot. I honestly think that's why you should watch movies a lot. Movies of behavior. Movies of behavior actually help you see how to create solutions. So when you're talking to a client, you're thinking of this my solution for you can change behavior in your system. It can be a quote from an actor. Like Code Carter said something. Pick one line, put it there. Code Carter, quote the film. These are triggers. So there is no limit to where to pick a trigger from. It can even be your pastor. It can be what your mom said on Saturday. Say, my revered religious mentor, so. Is a trigger. What matters is you're quoting something that is relevant to the subject matter, that jumpstarts the person reading it. Is this making any sense to you?
Yes, sir.
So, the introduction should be able to highlight the gap that you're trying to offer a solution for. Now, the cover page already has a title of proposal. The trigger already highlights what you believe in. It's like your belief system. Your introduction to some extent highlights the gaps you have established. The next thing is to now say, this is our solution. The service is the solution. The service is the solution. What are we offering? So, for the boy child here, we went into the service. We proposed a 1-day intensive session.
I think is that boy child or emotional?
Okay, sorry. It's not even the boy child, it's the ICRC. So here we say we propose 1 day of intensive sessions that will address the following. So we talk about communications among co-workers, because the teamwork thing, emotional intelligence and mental health first aid, because there's a behavioral angle to it, team bonding activities, you get. So we now went into the flow. So there is a proposal we wrote to the World Food Program in Maiduguri, a UN program, and they were asking us, I think I should open it, they were asking us for time by time breakdown. Now that is what WORM does for you. The WORM angle of proposal writing, you are guided. The MOU we signed with the HMO, yesterday they were the representative on our side that was liaising with their own side was on phone with me while with him, and they were asking questions. We said, I just told her, you know what, we don't need to be on this phone. Work with his guidance. We can't force what we want on the client that has given us entry. Work with their guidance. It will come to pricing later, still applies. So when the insider says, do it this way, don't be for me, I have 50 years experience. You that just graduated from school, no problem. Go and eat your certificate. So work with guidance. That's what WORM does for you. WORM, you're able to follow a guidance to get things done. For code, of course, you're just taking chances. You have no idea, but you're putting your best foot forward. So that's for the service. Now, in this case, here we talked about methodology. Here I call it the flow. But in another document, I called it methodology. So the methodology and proposition. So there's a section I should have added. Methodology, materials for, so 4B, materials for the session. So the service describes the solution we are bringing. Is it a training? Is it coaching? Is it boot camp? Is it immersion? Is it deliverance service? Is it whatever? What's the solution you are bringing? That's the service. The methodology is, this is how we will implement it. That's what methodology says. So if you see this, my example, methodology here says, students shall be engaged thoroughly with in-session tasks, group activities, role plays, videos, group subtasks, and self-delivery activities. Each session shall be a classroom session. So you are telling them, this is how we will deliver it. So methodology talks about the delivery, the execution, how it will play out. And it says, projected, flip chart, blah, blah. The main part of this process is retain long-term sessions for the purpose of ultimate impact on the child. Here we propose a minimum of 3 months interactions with the child or a standard 1-year cycle. That is the methodology. So we're telling you how we want to implement it. I think to a large extent, the proposal is meant to be a one-stop document that minimizes the go, come. How is this going to happen? You write, you send. Okay, when is it going to happen? You write, you send. It's too cumbersome. So as much as possible, the document should have as much information that is a one-stop shop that helps them process what they need to process.
Whether it's cold or warm.
Yes, either way. If it's cold, it's even more important. For warm, there's an excuse that I was guided. In fact, for warm, like the World Food Program, the guy that asked us to write took it to his supervisor, a Kenyan woman. She said, oh, but I need to see some. He wrote back to me. We had to edit again, add more, send to him. He took to her. So even with the warm, you realize that you are scaling up because as the document goes higher in hierarchy, the guy is looking for more information. Which at the end of the day, you realize that what you did as code ended up being the warm set. So sometimes it's, even though with guidance, because sometimes you send a code document to your connect, he says, but this is too much now, just write something. But I can tell you for real, by the time the document we get to the final boss, you will have written the code one. But the documentation is usually the same. So yes, sir.
I want to ask, there's this fear of having your method being, kind of taking
Stolen.
or exactly. So how do you manage that under this proposal writing?
So here, there's no content.
Okay.
There's no, you can't read this and say, I'm going to do movie. You don't know the title of the movie. You don't know if I'm doing what maps, what model, what graph, what tool. It just says methodology. It's just like saying you're applying for an undergraduate course. They tell you it's a 3 months course, for 5 years. Your semester is 90 days. After 90, you go for break for 2 weeks. Then I now want to copy. When I copy that flow and framework, what am I doing inside it? You get it?
So some people can easily take that and run with it, like research on these things and work with it.
So,
especially the service,
yes.
where you're talking
So
about
let's go back to service. So the service here,
Yeah.
which organization? Okay, this was Green Springs. So the sessions will address the following areas. Blah 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 blah. Personality assessment. There are thousands of models.
But you've given them an idea, so you can go and say, I'm going to get personality
Yes.
assessment.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. If you give them all these details,
Yes.
they can actually work without, they just.
The unfortunate thing about proposal writing is that the execution, the acceptance of it and approval of it is beyond you. Is beyond you. Because we've had cases where there was this guy who was contacted by someone very from the top that they want to do a proposal, a training for militants, Niger Delta. That was on my case. Somebody told me that I should talk to you, you're going to help us there, we want you to partner with you, blah, blah, blah. Oh, really? Okay. So what do you want? He gave me an idea what they wanted. I did mine, I sent. He now sent me a copy that someone has submitted to that Oga had given him. He said to me that I should just replicate like this format, these sections, and all this breakdown, blah, blah, blah. I've been looking for it, I don't even know why I can't find it. I wanted to show us today. And so I tailored to match what Oga wanted. Till today. Whether they used it somewhere, whether they did it, I have no idea. So really, you can't get yourself worked up on that angle. But the thing is, especially when you're working with one vehicle, you can't say a one insider asks you for a flow or they demand a particular template or pattern. They say, you know that if I give you this thing now, somebody may steal it. They say, no problem, you can keep it. Because the truth is, everything I'm sharing with you today, if you could actually Google it, you know far from waiting on will see. Maybe you will not see the trigger part because okay, it's proprietary to me. But how are you even sure that the content I've shared with someone, he has not put it on the internet? You'll be shocked that you will Google, you will see soccer proposal. It's possible. It's very possible. Somebody may put it in his Google Drive, may have shared it. It's not impossible.
Yeah.
So don't get yourself worked up like, somebody is going to steal my proposal. No. This was even tailored because the counselor specifically asked for this breakdown. Because if I show you the services in another proposal, so the services in this proposal tells you the topic of what we are doing. It does not tell you what we'll be doing. So all these differ. The goal is to convince the person that will pay you money. That's the cocoa. Convince the person that will pay you money. That's what matters the most. Very important. So, service is what we are doing. Methodology is how we will deliver it. Then the next section there talks about these materials. Okay, see this one. See the service for this one. We propose intensive sessions that will address human behavior and response to change. How do you copy this one? What is human behavior and response? It's vague. Role of technology. We will study e-collection system that the organization has acquired so as to educate the workforce on its adaptability. This is in-house. Different people have different models for studying an in-house system. Then emotional intelligence, which is common. Everybody can be emotional intelligence these days. Everybody's an emotional intelligence coach. Stress mastery. Now, this model is actually proprietary to soccer, patented. You can't find this anywhere. So, different things apply to different proposals, but the service is key in that section. Then the benefits. So, the materials to use, let me go to that first. Materials for the session. So this is where you now state what the the participants are getting. If you have trained for ministry, federal service, civil service before, you will understand. They want to see that they will have bag. They want to see that they want to see that breakfast twice, lunch twice, take away pack, dinner. They will shock you. They won't pay, but they want everything. If it's possible to get a free ticket to Dubai, they will collect. Because they didn't want to trade there in the first place anyway. So here is where you share what will come in the sessions as much as possible. Then we talk about the benefits. So let me see what the benefits for ICRC looks like. So here, because we try to use percentage estimations for some clients. So here, for instance, your team will work better together, and this will increase team performance and return on investment. We have proven our antecedents to improve team efficiency by up to and above 35% every year incrementally. This is a promise. So imagine that they give you this brief. We did this session, it was rainy season before we got a venue to do this work. It was very stressful because they wanted open outdoor. We were trying sample places. They told us go and find a place. So every time we set a date, the day we finally did it, it was few the rain did not fall. But it was very stressful. And then they were asking, how are you going to guarantee this one? Team bonding and all that. So we have to now set KPIs. Sat down with HR, determine KPIs on purely relational quotients, non-work related issues. So we instituted social events in the course of their calendar continuously.
So you are monitoring it?
Yes. Set up systems for follow-up of staff on their birthdays, on their children's days, or you get better, you bump a kid, or your child's birthday. We have to created an ERP to create this and now this reminders automatically to HR and the HOD of the person doing it. It was very intense, but it paid off. So I think that this is why I'm saying, and my friend just told me the same thing this evening, I think that when you're in business development, your acumen should be wide. You need to be involved in learning many things about different industries. That's why I did the wheel of marketing earlier. Don't say our industry is food, that's all we do. Pay attention to what happens in the legal space, what happens in the engineering space, what happens in the real estate space, because these things help you in consultancy. I think the best people that become consultants are business development people. Why? Because you have tasted every industry, you know what goes on. But your backbone is the books you've read, the paying attention to details as you are working with different industries. As you are marketing them, be observing what's going on. Because if I didn't have an IT background, my first degree is computer science. So things like ERP, automation, systems development is natural for me. But what if I wasn't? And they wanted us to measure this. You know, the thing about marketers, we overpromise.
Yeah.
They say the people that will do the work, they will know how to do it. Me, I brought the brief in. But because here I'm the one in the driver's seat of proposing or promising, I know the implications, so I'm able to be guarded. To say, well, somehow, we'll lump it on automation and tie a KPI to it. So that the person doing the job is the one that is not meeting the KPI, is beyond me. Your team will be self-driven and passionate towards you, and this will guarantee 40% so that your organizational mission is achieved faster. And then each member of your team will intentionally think about success. So that's for materials for the session. Okay, benefits. That's for benefits. Then let's go to the big fish. Again. Because this is one big area. How do I price my service? How do I price my service? Again, it's easier if you are using the one vehicle. Because they can tell you range. Please try to use one as much as possible. No matter where you go, try and befriend someone that can connect you to someone that can connect you to. Don't be in a hurry to write proposal. Don't be in a hurry to write proposal. When you enter a new space, this is why I'm a believer in writing as many proposals as possible. Because before one matures, you don't go die of hunger. One has already matured. So if you have plenty, just be pushing them out like that. As they are maturing slowly, those that are taking more time will not interfere with those that are taking less time. Is the hall darker? Is it my eyes? Okay. Okay. Just wondering.
Sorry, Coach.
Yes, boss.
Do you have to, for cold proposals,
Yes.
is it necessary for you to put the pricing there? You know, sometimes you put a pricing and
Yes.
all that, and
Yes.
then because I've had that kind of experience,
Yes.
and then based on what you have given,
Yes.
they now give it to somebody else and cut it down to fit what they want, and then get the other person right on.
It's a yes and a no.
Okay.
A typical example, there's usually a minimum threshold to what a fee can be. You can quote your minimum threshold. Sometimes you can quote a range. Sometimes you can leave out the costs altogether and say, contact us for details.
Yeah.
You know, but I've found from over time that the time for them to be contacting you, to be asking you for
Yeah.
pricing,
Mhm.
is actually a screening factor
Yeah.
to some organizations. But unfortunately, because it is cold, you know, the fact that it is cold, like we said, you are groping in the dark. You are just taking chances. You really can't say this will work, that will not work. It is possible that our proposal to 105 organizations, maybe it's one thing we wrote that made them say no. Maybe it's one thing we did not add that made them say no. We don't know. You know, so with cold, you just want to take chances and see, okay, how far it will go. Which is why I usually prefer the one. I usually prefer, which is why most of the organizations we have successfully worked with, we first sent a free taster offer. Most organizations we have successfully got, we've sent a free taster offer. We said, well, RRS in Lagos, for instance, Rapid Response Squad. I met the guy on Twitter, the commander. You know, they were tweeting and retweeting. And I was like, you guys are really doing so well. My organization would like to give you a free emotional intelligence 2-hour session. He now came to my DM and said, call me on this number. So I called. He was in Jos, in Nips. He said, okay, I'll call you later. So he called. I was like, what do you mean free? I wanted to understand what do you mean free?
How free is it? How free is it?
You know, he said, what do you mean free?
How free is free?
You know, he said because he has attended a course in London and EQ, and it was quite impactful. So he's happy that there is an organization, but he wants to understand what I mean free and by how, for how many people. I told him we will travel to Lagos, me and a team member, we'll print manuals, we'll train for 2 hours, 100% free. He was like, oh really? Okay, I'll get back to you. So he spoke to his operations team head in Lagos. Those ones gave us, we were speculating dates because they didn't have a date until we found a date. The day they found a date, I was teaching Coca-Cola session. We had to move it. So it was horse trading until we found a date. We actually flew to Lagos with Ghana must go of materials. The guy could not believe it.
That's right.
Like, he was like, okay, officers everywhere, everybody in their full uniform. We did training, gave them, they took pictures, they were so happy.
Because it's free.
Completely free. Then he says, oh come, we finished, went to his office, the guy entered his inner room, came out with dose of money. Said, take for your transport. Transport. I'm not going to collect. See
He's CSR now.
Okay, free.
He said,
He's CSR now, so the money wasn't in the street.
yes.
Which one
Well,
was going to
he wasn't. So, but that's not even the catch. The catch is a few, I don't know if it's weeks or months, they now call the office and say that training, they want another training.
Senior.
You should send an invoice. So RRS is like that. Even the same Coca-Cola, that's how I got into Coca-Cola. It's the same thing. So most organizations we've done is we sacrificed our resources.
First.
And they were first, of course, doubtful. then they were wild. Then they're like, we want to do stuff with these guys.
Yeah.
So pretty much, and all is business development budget.
Yes.
Is a budget. That's why we tell people, if you're investing in a business and it collapses or it crashes or it doesn't work out the way you thought, it's a business development investment. You have just learned how to do it differently.
Differently, yeah.
So don't see it as, oh, my money has gone. The money has not gone anywhere. We're all learning on the job. So most times see it like that. So let's come back to pricing. I recommend one vehicle every time for proposal writing. Your interest should be to befriend the organization,
Yeah.
then be guided to serve them. That's my belief system, because it will lower your cost and it will give you guaranteed business. So create a budget for business development where you are distributing your resources to organizations for free. It looks like you are just scattering because you don't even know which one will yield. So that's my recommendation, but it's not a law, it's not a rule. This was broken down based on guidance. We went to them, we sat with them, they told us specifically what they wanted us to the domains, the headers they wanted. So they gave us these headers. We found the pricing, So outdoor, and then all those activity stuff, venue, food, which for food, for instance, we actually gave them options because we had to find vendors. We had to determine venues that will not allow external food because they told us go and find venue. So we had to give them all this information, and this was guided because it's in-house. So they told us go find a venue. We told them where they will not allow food to come in. We told them where they will allow food to come in, and all those other factors that played out.
But
So
we do this for cold, no?
for cold, no. For cold, they'll ask you, who asked you? Where is this coming from?
This is on the basis of guidance.
Yes,
Yeah.
this one is on the basis of guidance. But let's now see the one that was not on the basis of guidance. Let me see what we sent to these fellows. So, okay, see your question.
Yeah.
Session fee, €0 to be determined.
Okay.
So to this school, we didn't put a fee. We said, when we discuss,
Yeah.
when we know the number of boys, the methodology, and we have agreed on a flow, then we can know the price. So we sent zeros to say, it doesn't mean free, oh.
Yeah.
This is not free.
To be determined.
This says there is a figure, but we don't know the figures. To be determined.
It's going to be fine. 6 figures.
Good move. And we say whatever we agree is exclusive of VAT or any applicable taxes, it's exclusive of venue cost, it's exclusive of any refreshments intended for participants. We're telling you in advance. Whatever we finally agree or does not include this element. So this is another example. Let me look for another example where I think we quoted something different. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so here, session cost. Duration can be 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days. Fee, at 5K only per head for maximum of 20 participants. This brings me to another advice. When you're writing your proposal and you are going to quote fee, please work in blocks of 20 people.
Okay.
If not, you cannot get the pricing right. The average,
minimum, huh?
yes, the average ILO class size 2025. The average, and it's a global standard. Class size, ideal class size globally is 2025. So do your pricing with that class size in mind. If you're going to charge for 100 people, how do you guarantee that that pricing will hit?
Yeah.
Because one, it will be too humongous for them to pay. Then try to be economical so that you can get the job. You now realize that you're even spending your money. So don't go pricing 100 people. We're going to train 100 people. So let's just say, well, 10K times 100 people. That's a lot of money already. You'll be shocked. You'll be very surprised that 10K per head for 100 people will not even go anywhere. The food alone can take that money. So charge in blocks of 20, 25 is safer. So that whatever additions or less, you can prorate on that basis. It's safer that way. Now here we say this 35K is safe that is for 20 people is exclusive of venue cost of refreshment to participants. It covers training manual, stationery, certificate, and the location is we have, because you guys told us you're in National State.
So we're traveling there.
So we know we're traveling there. It is for maximum of 3 days only. So if the training is more than 3 days, whether it's 1 day or 3 days, we're charging you 35K per head. But if it's more than 3 days, we have to review this fee again. For more than 20 participants, we will prorate the fee per head. You need to capture these clauses.
So wait, this 20 participants is max, yeah?
Yes.
Not minimum.
No, not minimum, please. Maximum. Maximum.
So what's the minimum? To cover your
For
costs.
training.
To cover your costs.
Okay, so that's another angle we should talk about.
Mhm.
How do you determine per head cost? How do you determine per head cost? Because you may encounter an accountant that will ask you, this thing comes to 55,000 per head, we cannot pay it. So how do you determine per head cost? Number one, what is the precise cost of the methodology? Remember you wrote methodology somewhere where you said this is how we will deliver the class. Classroom, projection, there will be manual, there will be food, there will be this, there will be that. The precise cost of the methodology, the best estimate you can get, you need to cost it, which includes A, manual or manuals, B, souvenir, C, venue if inclusive, D.
Can you write souvenir? Because sometimes I used to feel if you write souvenir, they think this person is not expensive.
No, you should.
Or
It's an incentive.
keep sticks, or what do you call it? Keep.
So, hold that thought. Let me put it in bracket. There's a place you can also put it if you don't want to make it literal.
Yeah.
So, food. E, professional fee.
Okay.
These are precise costs that you can quote. Then 2. Remember that I recommend warm approach, right?
Yes.
The person that is my warm is my business development.
Inside.
Inside.
Your inside man.
Yes, he must earn from it. It's his effort.
If he's in line with your company policy.
It doesn't matter. I'm not paying him in advance. I'm appreciating him for the effort.
But
So
you don't
it's
put
a-
it there in black and white.
No, not in black and white. This is your own, in your house, in your office, you're actually itemizing your breakdown. And you have to be precise before you start renaming where appropriate.
Okay.
So, PR
Yeah.
or business development costs for the person inside, which usually we call it finder's fee. 10%, 15%, some people 20%. So depending on your percentage, let's assume the highest, let's say 25%. 25% of
Net or gross?
gross.
Gross. Coach.
25% of
That's
gross.
too much now.
That's too much.
It depends on the amount you're
Business
following.
development guy, just the guy.
Yes.
It should be net now when you finish your magazine.
Everything, yeah.
So use net. We do 10% though, basically. But I'm just quoting worst case scenario, it can't be more than 25%.
Yeah, that's
But we do 10%. So 10%. Then now graciously it has become 7.5% VAT. You have to add it. It's part of the cost. 4, withholding tax. Has to be captured. It's very important. And depending on what your accountant advises you, any other tax, especially industry-related tax, because those in hospitals have their tax. Those in education, in fact, in education, they don't even collect this one. Sorry, you don't charge them this one, but they'll collect withholding.
They don't charge VAT. but
They don't charge
collect-
VAT, but they'll collect withholding.
Okay.
So depending on the industry, because you also need to know the industry specifics that apply, so that you know how to make sure It's not from your own profits. You not be paying the one that you did not add. So working with your accountant is key. If you don't have an accountant, at least befriend an accountant that can be educating you that do it like this, do it like this. Fortunately, I have a sibling that is an accountant. So me, I don't want to pay any accountant anything. My brother tells me, bros, this thing, you go spend your money inside. So that is that. Then, however, there's also what we call, which in some cases, the literal term is miscellaneous, but accountants don't use it anymore. So you may have to find a name for it. You know.
Contingency.
So, contingencies, which can be on its own another 10 or 15%. So if, for instance, you are scared that if I put souvenirs, they'll strike it out, the cost that should have been here, you put it under these contingencies.
Okay.
So automatically, everybody in the training gets something because we have factored it in the cost. And then lastly, the most important, your own, I should have even put it here.
Training staff.
Your own professional fee is on its own, which in some cases is flat, or in some cases is percentage of the overall. Like the guys in real estate, your quantity surveyors, your they charge percentage of bill of quantity, things like that. But we in intellectual service, sometimes it's flat fee
For
per
your
day.
position or for you as a person?
As you,
Facility.
as the
That's the
facilitator.
same fee.
Yes.
Okay.
Now this is assuming that, and this is times number of facilitators. Oh.
Yes.
But what is the benchmark for facility?
The thing around here is it's very difficult to actually say this is a benchmark. But ILO says that the fair wage for a management consultant is a daily wage of $1,000.
Okay.
ILO, standard ILO fee per day is $1,000, which is an average of 5 to 8 hours of facilitation. If you hire a trainer or a facilitator to train between 5 to 8 hours, ILO says you should pay them $1,000 per day. My current going rate is $250. It's less than $1,000. And even other people are saying, I can't chat with you now. You don't know Buhari economy. You get, so people, you know, but people even take you out of this town, travel, and they'll be paying you $100K per day. That's what they can afford. You can't come and kill yourself. You know, so all that depends on your cloud, your worth, your bargaining power, different factors.
But that's exclusive of your hotel.
Yes, no exclusive. When they are not high. No, you can't try that.
That's exclusive of transportation.
Yes,
and
exclusive of transportation, accommodation, and even your food.
Logistics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything, your own is that 100K is your own.
Yeah.
Every other thing they will bear it.
Okay.
Yes. So basically that's the Coca-Cola, for instance, if they are hosting you in your own city of work, is it 150K. If they're taking you outside your city of work, it's 250K. So different organizations, that's even Coca-Cola.
But for 250, is it going to cover the logistics or the
No, they'll fly you,
Oh,
they'll feed you, they'll pick you up and drop you off.
which is reasonable.
They'll pay your per diem. It's exclusive of your per
Per
diem.
diem. Oh, okay.
You get so
50 is exclusive of your per diem.
yes, it's exclusive. It's not Coca-Cola. Everything is small. So basically that's it. So pricing, there's no straight jacket to it. You get. But one thing I'm certain about, you need to do the math to get your pricing right. Don't be so sentimental. You now price to the extent that you know that you are in trouble. So while we may not categorically say charge so naira per head, you need to be very careful about the math. Another factor that I would advise with respect to pricing, price in blocks rather than, and I here I mean bulk, rather than per head. Especially when you see that the numbers are high. So, for instance, you're asking me, what if it's less than 20 people? If it's less than 20 people, it's wiser to say, okay, I'm charging you for blocks of 10 people. If there are many blocks of 20 people, it's better charging in blocks. Because if my per head is 35K, by the time they are paying me for 10 people, it's already 350K. 20 people is already 700k. They're already wondering, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? So you want to say, okay, if for 10 people is 350k based on our normal fee, we're going to, so you can now say, okay, we can come to 300k and block it like that. But usually, and this is one of the things, but I've also tried not to forget, your private session fee is not the same as your corporate session fee. It can't be the same. You know why? The overall factors that arrive at your total fee in an organizational setting will make your price go high. You see this PR, the person you are doing PR for, that's somebody is doing PR for, that's somebody that is doing PR for. Especially in public sector. So from the get-go, when you're writing proposals to an organization, I normally tell people, determine the real maths of what it will take and mark up by minimum or maximum 25% of the math. Because by the time you've done the sorting, you are still in a safe place. The more you are economical about your markup, the higher the chances that the profit you are aspiring to go to Dubai for will not be there. You will not go anywhere. Even Gwagwalada here, you will not be able to. So you need to understand that from the get-go. There is an industry in the US called the lobbyists. Lobbying is a career path on its own. Those guys internally that are doing business development for you, they're actually lobbyists, and you should pay them for that service. Do you understand? So this is it about pricing. It's very important for us to take note of that because pricing can be very tricky. Pricing is why many people may not be able to get their stuff done.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
When you're costing for an organization,
Yeah.
you don't tea break lunch, materials, resource persons fees, venue,
Yes.
everything. There's something that comes to the organization's own money. What do you call that?
That's the-
Service charge or something, or professional fee.
Okay, like, yeah, so it's going to be called the administrative charge, administrative fee.
Admin fee.
Some organizations charge it. Some receiving organizations will strike it out.
That's like the profit to the organization.
Then you should factor that in your professional fee. It's called example. We in soccer, even in BSG, for instance, next week we're off to Enugu to do a training. And we have 3 facilitators, including me. For each facilitator that we are paying on behalf of the host, we're giving you, so we're charging, I won't mention the fee, we're charging a particular fee. For each person, we're taking 5% of your fee as our organization's income. Because we nominated you to the organizing company.
Wait.
So let's say I invite you,
Yeah.
I'm taking you to Enugu on behalf of a client to go and do a training
Under soccer.
under soccer. And we're paying you 500k
Okay.
per day.
So you take
So we soccer will take 5% of this money
you
as
like,
our own administrative fee.
will I be aware in your offer letter?
Yes, yes. It's not a hidden charge. This agreement will say, okay, so no, it should and is a royalty.
For the company.
It's royalty for the company. It's royalty for the company.
We invited you.
Yes.
So this is what.
So we're giving, because guess what? That opportunity alone can open doors for you that we will never need you again. In fact, you won't need us, not us needing you. You won't even need us again.
Yeah.
And the source has to be serviced.
Yes. So we take a 5% royalty, which is an admin fee. Even me, as a resource of soccer, will remit 5% back to soccer.
Minus the withholding tax that you're still going to take from the person's money. Because someone had engaged me as a resource person for training, and they were asking me for my personal team that they were going to take some
No,
percentage
we
from
don't. So we won't take withholding tax from you. They've already taken.
They've already taken
The
from
source
the
has already
source.
taken it, so you are shielded.
Yeah.
We are not will burn it for you. So you are not going to go through all that stress. because it's not your company anyway that is paying withholding tax. So these are factors that you should consider in your negotiation with those that you're going to be working with. This is not, all this admin fee, it's not the business of the client. It's not their business. Because if you put it there, they'll tell you which one is this one. Are you punishing us for giving you a job? Which one is admin fee again? I beg you. So if you know you want to do admin fee, it's better to lump it in your professional fee, JJ, so that when you're now taking it from the other facilitators you're bringing on your platform, it is already provided for. It's safer that way. For me, the long and short of this conversation is, don't be in minus by the time your pricing is done. Don't be in minus by the time your pricing is done. Don't be engrossed to the extent that you enter a minus. So let me leave pricing. 7, profile of team or organization. This is what I call bragging rights. You know, from here, cover page, introduction, service, methodology, benefits, pricing, you have been appealing to the emotions of the person you are writing. Yes or no?
Yes.
Profile is where you now show them that if you don't hire me, you lose. All your MBA, your Harvard, your this one, your PhD, your I was a client, I serviced MTN, in fact, World Bank called me. This is where you brag. This is where they now see that, this guy, the fees he quoted is actually worth it. Because some of you are modest here. It's your modesty that made them leave your file somewhere. You say, this guy, it's still upcoming. Upcoming. You are still upcoming, 20 years, upcoming.
How do you mean?
So people don't like to launder their image in their profile.
So you bring out all your.
You just say, when I appear, they will know.
Best foot forward.
Why are you appearing? It's not when they invite you. So your profile in this document should show how many clients you've dealt with. For instance, you should be able to say the cumulative turnover of all my clients in the last 12 months is about $1 trillion. They will respond. My team cumulative experience is 10,000 hours. 100 years of cognate experience in so field. They will respond. So don't just go say, I'm a man with 1 wife and 3 children, I have a BSG in this one and an MBA in view. In view to where? So this is where to launder your image. You have to be bold and boastful here. And of course, truthful. You're not going to be copy somebody's name, join. No, be truthful. Another thing about profile is, it is very important for organizations to pair with people that have credentials. It's very important to have friends in your network that have credentials, that can boost your company profile when you're sending out proposals. They may not be there physically to do the training, but they give you consent to use their profile in your company profile. It's very good. So imagine that I have a certified arbitrator, certified this one, certified project manager, certified this one in my profile. When they see our antecedents, so these guys, their money is not their problem. They are not hungry. Is it this small change you want to give them that? No, this guys, no. They cut their teeth. They go on LinkedIn, they see that true. These guys actually exist. That's it. So it's not enough to say, I have all the credentials. It's also necessary to bring together a team in line with the topic of the profile and proposal. So you are writing proposal to a real estate company. You are putting the profile of a creche owner. They are wondering, what has creche got to do with somebody certified in creche and Montessori and want to build an estate? So they are wondering, what's the connect? Unless, of course, that person has business interests that is showcased in the profile, then it can add value. So don't just go lumping any profile. It should be intentional too. Intentional. So this is very key. It is very, very key. The summation of profiles is very important for you to have. And then the last one, a subset.
Sorry, sir.
Yes, sir.
Last question regarding profile.
Yes.
Now let's say you have people work for you as advisory board.
Yes.
You know, it's about valuation.
Yes.
How do you maintain them? How do you sustain them? Do you have to give them, quarterly allowances or probably?
Good question. So, advisory board, based on the nomenclature, is advisory. There is no legitimate obligation to pay them anything.
Okay.
But based on honor, gratitude, appreciation, you can. So, and then it all depends on you. If you can afford it, can be quarterly, can be sent twice a year, can be annual. All that is at your discretion. Board of directors, on the other hand, however, based on law, there should be meetings and there should be sitting allowances. That one is different, which based on your capacity, you can determine that this is what we can afford to pay. So all that is a different conversation that your lawyer will advise you. You guys, so but of course, whether it's advisory board, but whether it's advisory board or board of directors, it's just necessary to say thank you for allowing us use your reputation. It's just a honorable thing to do. Very important. I was even going to say something with respect to profile, that skipped my. Okay, good. Another thing I was going to say is, please try by yourself to build your own credentials. It's very good as the principal on the profile, because yours is likely to be the first they will read. So permit yourself to do more. Don't just, your first degree of 20 years ago is the only degree you have. The only certification, the only workshop you've attended, like the workshops you ever attend itself. It's a one-day workshop, they're just a one-day workshop. They say, Auntie, how far with you now? So build your own credentials. It helps. The truth is, irrespective of what happens upwards, this one alone can be the game changer. Some guys can just open to your profile. They just want to see who is this person, because especially if it's a cold vehicle, they want to first see who is this person, who are their people. I was in a meeting in Glow headquarters some years ago, many years ago. My friend did one fantastic solution. He wanted to propose to Glow. He said, Sam, I beg, I go and meet you tomorrow. They said, make I come. He invited all of us, wore our coded jacket and all those faded stuff. We sure wanted to show up. The first question, after he was done narrating a fantastic in our head, this solution can change the world. We said, we don't need dreams, our life don't change. The guy looked at us, one Indian guy. He said, so who do you know? That was the first and last question. My friend was stammering me. I was waiting for him to answer me. I didn't want to know anybody. I said, okay, we'll get back to you. Get back to you maybe next year. So this alone can change the entire dynamics of the document. Very important. The last one, subset of your client list. Because I believe I'm talking to experienced people who have done many briefs, it may not be realistic to put all your clients' names and profiles in the proposal. It may not be realistic. So cherry pick clients that are relevant to the person that you have sent your proposal to. Because they want to see what have you done in this area. And then please don't write names of clients. MTN, Ecotel, Etis9 Mobile. Use their logos. Use their logos, go and be writing a list. They will not read it. Our brain works in colors. So put the logos there. They're wondering, you've done a sizable, because that coloration alone shows that, okay, they've been there, done that. When you write a list, they're wondering, okay, so who are these people? So use the logos of the client and rich text, rich color logos, please. Don't go and be downloading from Windows 95 that the color is faded. No, rich color logos and put it. Some of our clients. Put it. In some cases, I can't remember which document we did, where we had to specify contacts. I think it's that World Food Program. For each logo, you put the contacts of the company. There's a proposal that it was a one we were asked for each logo. Tell us the name and number to call. I'm telling you, yes. So sometimes the client may actually demand that. So you don't just go on Google and just copy, say, well, I've worked for them in Jesus' name and in faith, I've worked for them. Okay. And now ask you for contact number. Let her go start praying. Don't know where you get numbers from. So basically, that is it about how to write a proposal. So let me take, it's 7:32 already. let me take one or two questions. Fortunately, this session has been recorded, and so we'll share it with you. So this is an example of a cover letter. Letter-headed paper, address, proposal cover, who we are, in line with your organization's strategic goal, which is to build blah blah blah. Attached is a letter of appropriation. So this is just a cover letter, basically introducing you basically to the organization. In the last 5 years, we've actively improved EQ of more than 2,000 employees in both private and public sector through training and certification, blah blah blah. So this introduces you to the recipient organization. So this accompanies the proposal, and then accompanying the proposal is your profile. Let's see if I can quickly dig up some kind of profile before we go. Just to show you before we go. So So this is our latest, because we've done several iterations. So this is our corporate profile. This goes with all our proposals. We have a cover letter, we have the proposal itself, then we have the profile that goes with it. And this is our latest official profile. Content, introduction, blah 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 blah. Some of our clients. Can you see some of our clients?
Yeah.
Then it goes down to say introduction. Talks about us, our core values, our slogan, and welcome to you, our mission statement, vision statement, our objective. Then we go down to our structure. Shows you our organogram in software. It says, so basically this is our structure. Then it goes down to our management. And so this was what we sent to GIZ, and they saw this guy, they said, no, you guys just enter. You just open the door for us. So, chairman, legal, faculty director, me, and then some of our, this is my profile. Then soccer and soccer online, because we have an online version of our program. And then it goes on to talk about our certification, and then goes down to talk about our non-certifications, and then our target audience, whom we are serving, which is broken down here, and then our statistics of what we've achieved so far, our program fees, how we charge, then training courses, non-certification described, so all the way down, and then some of our clients. So you see what I said, don't use names, use logos. And these are some of our clients. So what we decided to do was to pick clients that are not just small chips. So when you see CAC, you see Peter, you see NICE, you see Wolf. Okay, these guys, they've done some accounts. So if this is the only snapshot we send to you, self as MD, you say, let's give them a try.
Yeah.
You've seen our board, you've seen our clients. It's easier to say, these guys are repeatable, they won't run away. So basically, I hope if this is the only thing you even live with, going back to design your company profile, if that's all you remember from today's session, is worth it.
But Coach, this profile is on our website.
Yes, it's on our website. It's PDF. We also have printed copies.
It's on the marketing tool.
Yes. If you go to Soccer website, you see it. You download the profile.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Okay, in your profile,
Yes.
you have shown the courses you give, the certified and the non-certified courses.
Yes.
Okay, so if your the cover letter is like a general thing, for example, what I'm trying to ask is, for example, if you're trying to send a proposal on team building.
Yes. Which is not primarily a course in our profile.
Yeah. What I'm trying to ask is, instead of the cover letter, can't you just do just like a proposal letter? Just put everything together, plus introduction, costing, pricing, everything together. So you don't have different documents. Because my experience with these public sector people, they might just
tell you.
suddenly misplace one and tell you, with this people.
Makes a lot of sense. What we do is that because we bind the proposal and the cover letter comes right on top of it, clipped, and then goes with the profile and goes in our branded envelope sealed. So when we go, there's also an acknowledgement copy that says I've received this and this is outlined.
So the cover letter carries that there's an accompanying product?
Yes.
Okay.
So because either way, these things are beyond you.
Yeah, actually.
It's beyond you. They want to pull out a page from the one that you even bound yourself. You will do it. You get, so all these are tricks of the external factors that you don't have a hand in. Because if, for instance, they want you to put pricing and somebody pulls out the pricing page that nullifies you, what will you do? You have bidding, we do bids, and we submit bids for clients, and the financial part is completely removed and left with the technical. But bid instructions say submit both. So a client is disqualified because in the mind of the tender board, they didn't submit. Meanwhile, it's the hand of the progressives. So really, I really don't even bother wasting time thinking of these things, because if it will click, it will click.
Yeah.
That's why I believe in multiplied distribution. So that you are not limited by, oh, there's only 2. We are praying that this, at least one should just click. When I have 20, my prayer is easier. But when I have 2, my prayer has to be more. Mountain climbing must be involved. So, my people say our time is up. So, thank you so much for spending time with us tonight. If you have any further questions, please send me a DM on Instagram, Business Study Group. I will respond to you ASAP, or you can chat us on WhatsApp via this number, and we hope to see you again. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. God bless you. Have a wonderful evening. Don't forget to pick up your snack on your way out.
Is there a discount for us for the summits to be able to know?